Welcome to Super Soul Sisters. My name is Jamila Luka and you're watching UBC TV Inspiring Uganda. In Super Soul Sisters, we make sure that we bring you the best of the stories from the ladies' perspective. And because of that, we are having an ongoing campaign for raising 20K for the girls who are going to be benefiting after the Most Inspiring Story pageant, which is going to have a finale on 14th of December at Amphitheatre Nakasero Primary School. So I encourage all of you to come for that final event where we shall be giving prizes to these girls, also giving them bursaries, and also listening to their stories with many other things that you will experience on that day. I also want to remind you that please watch UBC TV every Wednesday 9 p.m. I repeat on Friday 11 a.m. And you can catch us on YouTube, still Super Soul Sisters. We have a campaign of raising 20K for these girls, which is supported by FAWE Africa and International Plan International. So this 20K campaign is meant to raise money for these girls' bursaries and also to support them when they're in school, because most of them are struggling financially with school fees and also school requirements. So once you subscribe, you contribute to this money, we will be able to support those girls. It's not just 20K, but if you feel you can contribute more than this, please feel free. We are going to share the merchant codes and the way of payment just in our screen, and then you will be able to put it there.
Oh! Super Soul Sisters ground-based inspiring story grand finale is here! With our theme of Vision for the Future, come and be part of this amazing yet inspiring pageant as we focus on the girls' life journey through storytelling to change people's lives. This December, Saturday the 14th, 2024 at Nakasero Primary School Amphitheatre from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. in partnership with Plan International Uganda and UBC TV. Ordinary tickets are sold at 20,000 shillings, VIP table at 500,000 shillings and 1 million Ugandan shillings. Be there!
And today we are still talking about a girl child, and here in studio we are we brought one of the ladies who is very passionate about girl child. She's a journalist, a senior journalist here at UBC TV, Star TV, and also UBC staff, but she's very passionate about girl child. She has worked with girl child. She has encouraged girls to go to school. She has hosted people who encourage girls to go to school, and she's a very big fan of Super Soul Sisters. She's called Mercy. So Mercy, you're most welcome to Super Soul Sisters.
Thank you so much, Jamila.
Tell us your name. Me, I only know as Mercy, and I remember how you hosted me on Start.
Do you know how many years we have worked together?
It's a long time.
It's a pleasure. Good evening, dear listener. My name is Mercy. It's my pleasure to be here. I am a mother of one. I am a journalist, basically as a business journalist, and then I love girls. I am, I think, an ambassador of UPE Kids because I came from UBC. I came from UPE, so I have that background.
That means you went through UPE, yeah, then also, they call it UC.
I didn't go to USE, but I went to UPE, so I like UPE so much. And then I am a pastor. So wow. I am so glad to be here, and I know there is a girl out there who is going to pick something out of today's story.
Yes, so Mercy. I only know you as Mercy. The other name?
My name is Mercy Lugemwa Namirembe.
Lugemwa.
But you can mention Mercy.
Namirembe.
Namirembe means peace.
Odirachi.
Nedira Mutima.
Mutima, that's the heart.
Yeah.
Wow.
I am a sister to the Katikiro of
Sister
Uganda.
of Katikiro, wow.
Yes.
So I'm here with the, they call it what is this? They call it princess and princesses and what they are called, royal.
Royal.
I am with the royal here, so it's very nice to have her in the Super Soul Sisters, but thanks for loving Super Soul Sisters.
Amen.
You've been our number one supporter. You know what I tell people, that you can work in the same place, but you have different shows and you find that your colleague actually likes the other show.
Yes.
And she has been supporting Super Soul Sisters with getting us guests and also always, you know, pitching in here and there, telling us to do this, do that. So we really appreciate, Mercy,
Thank you
your
so
support
much.
for Super Soul Sisters. And with that, you mentioned that you went through UPE.
Yes.
For me, I didn't go through UPE. But I think they introduced UPE when I had left primary.
Oh.
Yeah, so we didn't. My lot didn't
then you are
get
my
that.
senior.
I'm a senior. So, but since you've talked about UPE, I'm going to take you back.
Yes.
Who is Mercy?
My name is Namirembe Mercy Lugemwa. I was born in a family of 7, and I am the second last born.
Wow.
We have 2 boys, others are girls. I think that's why I love girls so much. The place is called Mpiji. The village is called Navona. It's just 1 kilometer from the town. So Mercy went to St. Kizito Primary School. That school is still there near the district headquarters. Then I joined, that was the UPE session. Then I didn't join USE, but I went to a secondary section. The school is called St. Jude Katende. Then St. John's College, still in Mpiji. That's for UCE. Then I joined Mutesa One Royal University. That's where I did my bachelor's in mass communication. So I'm a communicator, I'm a PRO, and I'm a spiritual leader.
Wow, interesting.
Yes.
Now I'm going to take you back to primary. You know, when we talk about UPE, most of us just know it in theory. And then also when we go to upcountry, I always associate UP with upcountry schools. I don't know why, because that's where you find that there's quite a big number of children going to the same school. You find like about 50 or 80 children with just one teacher.
Yes.
So I associate more with UP in upcountry. But now for you to say that you went through a UPE school here in just the city, because in PG is Kampala.
Yeah. Right now it's a metropolitan.
You can work, you can sleep in Impiji and work in Kampala, and you
yes.
feel like you're just going here in either Mukono or something. Now, tell us, how was the experience of being in a UPE school as a girl child?
My experience as a child, by that time it was so different. By the way, we had teachers, and the teachers by that time, they were enough. We had streams. We had A, which was advanced, and then B. So I was in stream B, which was brilliant, advanced and brilliant class. So it was a very good experience. We were just categorized in A. In classes, we had groups of A, B, C, like that, depending on your understanding. So I used to sit in group B. And what I saw back in the days, the investment, the supervision, the commitment towards UPE was actually so different compared to what I see now. For us, getting first grades in UPE back then was not news.
Yeah.
In fact, our schools, St. Kizito by that time, was performing better than the private schools in PG district. And I have an OB here, my cover lab is my OB. I have other OB, the one of them is in Uganda Cranes, and some big officials. That actually means that the passion of the teachers, the passion of the RDCs then, the DEOs, the inspectors, all of them were working as a team to make sure that we had very good education. So for me, my experience was so good. We were only paying only 10,000 for buying portion, that's lunch. So for those ones
For
who
a
had
whole
money,
term?
for the whole time.
And you used to eat beans and posho.
Beans and posho, and we liked it.
And meat?
No, there was no meat. There's no meat.
But there's matoke in PG, so you never even used to eat matoke.
No matoke. We had matoke in the garden because my mom is a farmer, she's a trader.
So that one used to eat from home.
From home. But at school, Completely, we were eating
Was
posho.
was it these beans? Remember last time, I think about 2 years or 1 year ago, where they showed the school where the kid had a lot of soup and
Yeah.
like 5 beans. Or you guys used to eat real beans.
We were eating real beans, but not fried. But remember, the situation was not so good, so we were okay. A child who could afford 10,000 was also another category. because porridge, by that time, we were paying 3,000, and many kids couldn't afford.
So like if you are to take only porridge, you pay 3,000.
You pay 3.
For a whole term.
Then for those ones, exceptional, the
Students.
masses and others, class A, they were taking the portion and beans.
And let me tell you, by the way, I went to boarding schools from primary. The beans in school. Oh, but is it the age?
Oh, but it can be nice.
They even cook it in a way that it is thick. Now, maybe it is the variety of the beans.
There is not that I complained about UPE beans.
Yes.
I never complained because there is a way we were very many. We had like 2,000 kids at a time. So food was just amazing to sit and eat. And we had other members who had no money to pay. So you would just bring your portion, you share with your colleague.
Wow, interesting.
So it was okay. All was well.
So now that you've talked about eating with your friends and, primary, what are those memories? Share with us 2 memories that you remember very well about primary that you would tell your grandchildren.
I was very skeptical. This child who is very inquisitive. And I remember in P7, there is a teacher who came, and I think he was teaching something, and I understood it better. So when this teacher came, he marked me, and I remember getting 75, and the one who was excellent got more than me by only 2. So I felt very bad. I told that friend of mine, give me the paper. I see the reason why we didn't get the same marks. So
Maybe you had bad handwriting.
I got the paper. I was like, no, I know these things. How comes this one is better than me? So I looked through and I was comparing. Looking at everything, we had almost done the same things. I went back to a teacher. I said, teacher, I want you to be fair with me and tell me the reason why this one has this kind of marks and me I have less. And in this, the teacher had to add the same kind of marks. So for me, I was just challenging from day one. And the teacher was like, you also, Lugezi. And that's how I grew up. I was a challenging child.
Wow, that is one. Which other one?
The second one was, we used to reach very late. I don't know, our UPE was very strict. We used to reach at 6:30. Chiboko. So that time, I came like at 6:29. And the HM was just standing at the gate. I actually thought he's going to feel sorry. This man gave me like 10 sticks. I was like, Vanange, UPE also. So I felt very bad. I said, when I grow up, I'll not beat my children, but I'm beating them. So the experience. I think
So
those are true
interesting. That's very interesting.
I think the last one is walking a distance of, I was walking a distance of 6 kilometers from home to school, and those were 12 kilometers to and back.
And you see how you remained fit?
Yeah, I'm fit. You see my car weight, I have 63 kilograms.
So anyway,
in weight.
Going back to that time, okay, at school you used to eat the beans, be with friends, and I imagine you were that girl who used to play, because it's all written over that you must have been, since if you can challenge each other, that means when they would ring the bell. In primary schools, the beauty about studying in schools that are out of Kampala is when it is lunchtime. Kids don't even, the moment they ring the bell, because they ring it like 3 times, they just scatter. So I imagine you're that kid who would be ready when the moment they ring the bell, you are like this out of the class.
I don't think I waited for the bell. I just go slowly out to look for food. I was this child who was all over, all the time. What was so different was just the academics as performing well. If it weren't that.
But that's what happens to kids who are brilliant. Most times they're everywhere. So apart from school, what else were you doing at home that memories that you have of being in primary school and being at home? Like what chores were you doing? What were you doing?
Wow.
Because mom was a farmer, and what were you doing?
Actually, Jamila, I started cooking in top class. I used to come from my nursery school. And then you know how village things are. We use firewood. So my mom would put that big saucepan on the stove. Then for me, I used to come back and lit the fire. So I started cooking as early as 4 to 5 years. I was cooking for all my big sisters. So I used to do a lot of work.
Now, where were the big sisters?
To school.
Yeah, 'cause for
Remember,
them they would stay
infantry,
until
we
late.
used to come back
But midday.
midday. And I remember when they took me to school, they were like, she's very young. I said, no, I'm just short. I am not young. I can talk. Then I did like this. I said, teacher, you see, I can touch here. Then I touched here. Teacher said, you stay. I think I was 2.5 by the time I started nursery. And the experience was so good. We used to work with my mother. And me, I have grown up working with my mother. All through, as she was looking for school fees, I was doing work that brought money at home.
And where would Dad be?
My dad was there, but we had a very big family. My dad had a family of 22 children. Wow. So it was a 3-in-1. So we had to help him out because paying school fees was not easy, though he had money. But Mom had to do a lot for us to maintain school. That's why we went to a UPE school. We had coffee at home, so we would go in our coffee plantation. We had so many things, do farming, and then we get money out of it. So I grew up a child working with my mother to get money for school fees. And when it comes to coffee, now it is a season. You people of Mpigi, I'm going to come back and do coffee because I see people buying big cars because of coffee.
Yes, yes.
So I am about to go and do
coffee is nice. I was actually taking coffee this today, and I'm like, wow, coffee.
It's very nice.
Coffee. Even if you don't want to take it, like the aroma of Ugandan coffee, it's really very nice. Everywhere you go, you want to have it. But also, primary school is done. Your UP is done. So you go to which school? You had mentioned the school earlier.
Yeah, I went to, by that time, it was, right now it's called St. Jude, Katende, that's the current. That's where I went for 4 years. I started my secondary there. But that was very tough. You remember this child all over and then joining secondary, private, and this was private. So we used to pay some transport, some coffee from Pigi to Katende, and that was 200 to and 200 back. But I used to eat the money and wait for taxis and beg them to take me back home. And you taxi drivers of Mpigi, thank you so much. Because these days people are paying you money. Me, I never paid money. I was like, how can I be
and I think they used to put you in Kameme.
I used to tell them, you people, I don't have money. Then they say, we know your family, you come and sit here. So my mother used to give me 500. 500 too. It's 200 to and flow. So balance of 100.
And
but I had to eat
at
it
100,
all.
those days Chindas was 50 shillings.
Was 50 shillings. You put it here. People have not seen Chichepere. I didn't tell you the story of Chichepere. All my uniform here.
What is Chichepere?
Chichepere, you put rice. You know where you put rice? And you sink in the oil.
The one which looks like the egg roll.
It looks like the egg,
with
people know egg roll. For us, we know chichepere. A teacher would ask, what's happening with your uniform? Oil.
Was your uniform the one which was like cream or?
No, our uniform was kapere. Kapere is like the way you see pink and white. Those strips.
Yes.
That checked. You call it checked. Yeah. Like that one of now. I see chitin. They're called Chitintale.
And Nakasero used to have that. Yeah.
Now ours was red and white. Yes. Now just imagine with oil. You go
because you go home when it is now yellow. With
after
a lot
moving
of
6 kilometers, then they look at your everything. You're all messed up.
I never experienced being in a day school, so I don't really have much experience.
We were very many. We used to work in a group like 10.
Then when it comes to getting a taxi?
Now a taxi is for secondary level. That is upgrading. I think my mother had gotten some kamane. So we upgraded levels, 500 shillings. They give you your upkeep. If you eat it.
For you said you are short. So they used to say, kana.
Kato, you just sit. So I that's where I spent my 4 years. And that was also a good experience. Though there is... a lot I have to talk about. When I reached senior 2, I think I became very crazy. I liked dancing. I could not miss the music, the organized, we used to call it organized crime at school. I was always part of it because I was the entertainment prefect. Just imagine a girl, and my mother didn't like it, but me, I liked it. I remember I was almost suspended. But I said,
Because of entertaining dances?
Because of entertainment. Because when there is entertainment, sometimes you miss school.
Yes.
But I thank God for one thing. My mother loved God, and she could actually follow up and call school.
So you said that coming from school, like you used to do entertainment. So how did you almost miss suspension?
I think there is a time when I was not on a default list. But because I wanted to go, and you know Katende is a town, and it was a town by that time. So I got out. When the BASA came and sent away kids on a default list, I also went with them. And then my mother calling at school, I was not there, I had gone down. So when they told the administrator...
Which class were you in?
Senior 2. That was very tough. I was untouchable in senior 2, senior 3. I stabilized in senior 4. I stabilized. I said, now education is back to importance. But senior 2, senior 3, it was enjoying life at school. Then they told me, you're going to suspend you. I said, me who came from a UPE, and then you suspend me, what will my mother do? And she was like a soldier. My mother could beat. Do you know a parent who beats you from head to toe? That was my mother. She was a soldier. So I was like, this Pananga, you people don't report me. They didn't report me, and I started stabilizing back. I said, I'm going to change for the better. Sincerely, I changed for the better. They didn't suspend me.
I know the feeling of stubborn children, especially if you like those things.
Yes.
So, but now, as a girl child now, like how, like if you look back, if you had to change something about that, what would you change?
I would actually change let me go back to when kids go to their menstrual days. I don't know why, by that time, no one would talk to us about that.
Not about Senga.
And we had the senior women. I started young because I finished my primary in 12, like I was 12 years by the time I finished. So I went to that process when I was in senior 2. So when the senior women in primary were talking about it, I was laughing about it. I never understood it.
Yeah, because you had not yet reached.
Because I said, now the senior, she's talking about what? But in senior 2, when it came to pass, no one talked about this. And I had to fight my way out.
Did you ask fellow girls?
And I asked my fellow girls. But the things to use by that time were not there. So the struggle was actually different. Parents were so much about paying school fees and the basics. So that one was not a basic. So I am like, if I am to go back, I would even advise whoever is concerned, government and everyone, they should avail
Pads in schools.
Pads in schools. They should let teachers talk about this all the time. They should let boys know that this is part of life. There is an incident that happened when we were in P6. And when it happened, for us we saw red on the Kapere uniform. And everyone was laughing at this girl. Like me, I didn't know what was happening. And boys were laughing. And there was stigma in class. Until when a teacher came and rescued. So I feel like if I'm to go back, I can change fully this. Sensitization is needed to the boys and girls. And then you also give them the pads so that they feel very comfortable.
Wow. Interesting. Those are the UPE schools. Actually, the issue of pads, we override it, look at it like it's a very simple issue, but it plays on someone's self-esteem.
You can even fail to come back to school.
And that's why what FAWE is doing actually. You've heard about FAWE. That's what they are fighting for when you talk about the 20,000 contribution. This money does not just pay school fees. They make sure that these girls have these necessities. Because, Mercy, that is you who is able to talk about it. But how many girls, if you take back to their life, how many girls were affected by that? And trust me, what most people do not know, menstruation is a life-changing situation. Once a girl goes into menstruation, she can never be the same again.
Yes.
The fears, that's when the emotions start coming, biology starts playing, you are having certain feelings that you do not understand, and if someone does not talk to them about it, most of the girls actually drop around that particular time. Between 13 to about 17 years, there is a very high rate of girls dropping out of school. So, for those of you who are watching, Super Soul Sisters, let us contribute this money so that we can support the girls. One, for their most inspiring story, they get bursaries, and then also whatever balance which remains, Fawe can use this money to support the girls they have been supporting, because according to them, by the way, this year they managed to save girls who were supposed to be dropped out of school.
Wow, that's good.
That is senior 4 and senior 6.
And I've just realized there is a story I did from areas of Luka and Buikwe, and I was making a research as to why girls were dropping out. It was about petty things. They were hungry at school, always hungry, no pads. Then they lacked clothes, they have no shoes to go to school. There were petty reasons, and that's why there is a high number of school dropout that side. So actually sensitization needs to be done, and the esteem, teaching the children to have their confidence.
Yes.
I grew up, I was in a PSA program, and by that time, you remember PSA? Presidential Initiative on AIDS Strategy for Youth. That was back in the days. So I was so encouraged, having esteem of saying no to something or yes. And I grew up a child with confidence because I was mentored from day one. And from lower section, we need to talk to our girls to have the esteem, even if you have no money, even if no one should put you down. Like me, I grew up and I wanted someone to tell me you are beautiful. Why? Because it used to give me that extra confidence. And I tell it to my children that you are beautiful, you are exceptional, you are going to be someone, you are going to make it. I used to say these things that I'm going to be a leader, I'm going to do this, I'm going to help people. So I'm like, this mentorship also should be there in schools. Yeah,
it should actually, because nowadays you find, I think the stress levels are too high among parents, and because of the pressures of school fees, pressures of requirements and what, so you find that even the language that we use towards these girls, this demoralizes them from going to school. Like you can say, there's a nyindo. One time I was passing where I live, and some girl was trying, I think this lady sells charcoal.
Yes.
And the girl was there, she was trying to tell her about to measure something, and then she's like, or something.
Oh.
Like, I don't understand.
That belittles someone's
But you see such things in a public place, and this was a girl who looked like about 14. When you mention such things toward girls, that is the most crucial stage where women go through. It's a life-changing moment, periods, and then you develop breasts, you see your bum growing, you are getting nyash, the thighs are becoming big.
Everything is changing very fast.
Everything is changing, you're growing tall, and then, you know, that's the funny thing about biology. It's like it comes to attack you. It comes like... So if there is no one to take a child through that, that's why most girls drop out of school. And then there is the other pressure of men starting to disturb. First,
that's how you start looking good. I think because I was a bit short. I told you I was short, so I started being like a woman in senior 3, senior 4. That's how I started looking like a
do you have anything to share about that? Because also that actually is a big issue.
Yeah, it's a very big issue. Even the people who come at home, by the way, we just need to be very careful because you don't know who you are hosting. But what I have to encourage, by the parents of these days, we actually think we are looking for money more than taking care of the children, and we end up losing it all. My on their advantage, my mother was ever there. She was talking about the same. She was giving us experience of life. She was giving us the exposure. So I grew up knowing that in the world there are so many things happening, but I've got to keep on track, and everything that is good is in the future. So I love it that way, that I had much time with my parents.
Do you know, Mass, even during that time, and I think this is what musicians should also go back. I remember there were so many songs. I grew up partly in Teso and partly in Kampala when I was young, but in Teso we had songs which were saying, like songs which would sing like, when you leave school, you will become pregnant, then you will grow old. Then
Yes.
like in my
Even
language,
the dramas we used to see at
even the dramas
school.
were like, I remember this particular song, Wacha maneno ya waijana, something like that, like leave issues of men.
Yes.
Enda kwa shule, like go to school and study. So all those schools would teach girls, you get it. And then even when I would come to Kampala, I'd say, there are those Kadongo Kamu songs which they used to sing, and then they would tell kids to sing at school that men are bad, which like you go to school and study.
And even
but
our parents were open about it.
Exactly.
They were very open.
But nowadays, the songs that we give our children, the information we feed our kids with,
They're very different.
you find a kid singing a song and you're like, eh.
And me, I remember in radio there, I was with Akatukunda Maureen, the one who hosts the kids show. So kids were like, for us, we don't want. They had put a good song. They said, we don't like it. We want it. It is Ozambe. They wanted something else.
Ozambe.
I was like, so kids can. They know what they want, not what you want to give them.
And that comes back to us in the society. Let us sing music also, which inspires kids. So anyway, leaving secondary, where did you go to?
I went to, leaving secondary university.
Yes.
To university, I went to Mutesa Wandera University. So that's where I did my bachelor's of sciences in mass communication. You see, I loved talking. I loved being a leader and helping someone. And it'd be a voice to throw a hand to someone who is in need. So I was like, what I have to do is to do mass communication, because there I'll have a platform.
Exactly.
So I did my 3 years. I finished the 3 years in 2016, but we thank God, by the time I finished, UBC had given me an internship.
Wow.
I was already here. And me, I'm telling you, I am a very focused woman. When I came to UBC, we were very many. Yeah, but by the time I graduated in 2016, UBC had given me an internship, because the first internship, I did it in UBC, even the second, that was 2015 and 2016. So I was this lady who was very, very hardworking. So I said, how am I going to be retained in this very big institution? I need to be retained, because I grew up seeing that looking for a job is another job. I said I have to stay in UBC, but we were very many, the likes of Kaho, Ivan, and others. We came very many at that time. So time came and we had to leave. I said, how should I stay? I said, I'm going to volunteer and I'm going to stay in this place. So I remember very well. By that time, because I did my internship with UBC Radio and then joined Star FM afterwards. But then I remember that someone who was supposed to be doing court stories, that someone had gone somewhere. So they needed someone to bring court stories. So I said, since Chimono Dorcas goes there, I'll be going with her.
Wow.
I said, Munanga, I'll be escorting you. I need to I am one person who wants to challenge myself. I don't do simple things. I do hard things so that we don't compete. Now, doing court stories was a strategy, knowing that very many people will not do. My reporting was in Iwuba's price indices. It was in court, and then doing a tofali of Buganda.
Yes,
those were the stories.
Time. Anyway, Mercy, we are going to come back to that from the Tofari, but you're still watching UBC TV and still watching Super Soul Sisters. Don't forget that we air every Wednesday 9 p.m. I repeat on Friday 11 a.m. and also you can catch us on YouTube. For now, let us go for a break. We shall be right back.
Super Soul Sisters ground-based inspiring story grand finale is here. With our theme of Vision for the Future, come and be part of this amazing yet inspiring pageant as we focus on the girls' life journey through storytelling to change people's lives. This December, Saturday the 14th, 2024 at Nakasero Primary School Amphitheatre from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. in partnership with Plan International Uganda and UBC TV. Ordinary tickets are sold at 20,000 shillings, VIP table at 500,000 shillings and 1 million Ugandan shillings. Be there.
Welcome back from the break. My name is Jamilo Luka and you're watching Super Soul Sisters here on UBC TV. I want to remind you that we have the grand finale of the Most Inspiring Story running on 14th of December at Amphitheatre Nakasero Primary School. Right now, the voting is still ongoing until 30th of this month. Please make sure you vote for the best contestant on africavote.com. We have all the girls' names there and their stories. Take time to read their stories and then vote. Also, I want to remind you that there is an ongoing campaign to raise money for these girls, and it is supported by FAWE Uganda Organization Africa, and it just says that 20K for transformation, together educating girls for a better Uganda. So there are merchant codes which we are going to put just below, but we want you to help us raise this money and to be used to give these girls bursaries. Already they did a campaign and they raised 16 million, which was used in this first bunch. They paid for kids in senior 4 and senior 6 who were struggling with finishing fees all over the country, 15 girls. And for me, 15 girls, that's already a big number to keep a girl in school. And right now, in studio here, I am with Mercy, one of our senior journalists. And from her, what she shared, she said she came to UBC, did volunteering, went to court, and I think that's how you got retained.
Yes, as retained.
So now, Mercy.
And I remember telling all my colleagues that I'm going to be retained. They said, you are a joke. I said, I'm going to be, and I was.
And thank God for that.
Yeah, and I thank God for that. And when I tell people that I'm going to be a very big woman in the nation, they laugh at me. They're like, but Mercy.
And you know
because I learned to speak about myself.
Wow, self-branding.
Yeah.
Self-branding is important. I love your shows even on Star.
Thank you so
much. As the Luganda banang.
Look, Sumbuwa.
But it's okay. I get what I get, and that's it. And
Okay.
also, you know, it's good you hosted us in Super Soul in your morning shows, and we got such a good report back. So thank you very much for that.
You're
but also,
welcome.
Mercy, you have shared your story as a girl child who went through UPE. President Museveni must be happy wherever he's
and
watching.
I'm telling President Museveni that I'm ready to be an ambassador of UPE.
So
and improve for the better.
She's one of the people that Uganda should celebrate in this 62 years of independence.
Yes.
A UPE student who has turned to be a senior journalist working for the government.
Yes.
So what else is there to celebrate apart from that? So another thing is, now that you are in a position to tell people about the importance of educating a girl child, because I believe right now your mom is a very happy woman.
Yes.
She knows every end of month,
There is something, yeah.
Kasoda. And also just the pride of seeing your daughter on TV
I know.
and you know, doing wonders. It is not something that we take it for granted. So many people dropped out. I imagine when you look at your cohort.
So many.
So many. But
And,
you're here.
and UP, it's a big number.
It's a big number. But now, what is your take about this? About this? Could you also throw some light? Why do you think it's important to support this girl?
It is very important to support a girl child, and this 20K for transformation, I feel like you should also come at, we give you all the platforms everywhere, and any Ugandan should support. 20K is just breakfast for
And
people.
for 3 months.
It is just lunch. But putting a girl in school, you are changing, because she is a mother. When a girl is educated, she can do a lot. You become a counselor to very many, like me, I'm a counselor to very many. When a girl is retained, the levels of integrity at work is actually different. And we have proved right that when we sit in office, there are actually so many things we can undo when they have just been doing like this, and you make them straight.
Yeah.
I was a vice president in 2018. In 2018 up to 2020 of the Uganda Journalists Association. But I remember I used to look through all the documents and that's the time when we had to own our house. The levels of integrity a girl uses is not the same, because I feel like I'm a mother. I cannot sell out a property which is for very many people. So I feel like a girl child should be educated. Should be educated when you have a mother. A mother is a general manager of a home.
Yeah.
So if you educate, she is going to empower your girls. She's going to empower the society, because men are always at work. Let's not leave behind the boy child. I am a pastor and I'm ever in church telling people that you are raising a very good girl who is going to meet a very disorganized boy. And that is actually why we are having divorce cases. Because you're actually saying, we are raising a girl. What about a boy? Let's go back to men conferences. Let's go back to boy conferences. As you're having a sitting room, I call them the sitting room or the upper room with girls, have the upper room with boys. Tell them to have etiquettes of life. Tell them to behave. Tell them that corruption is not the only way to develop the country. Then, when you are raising two people at the same time, you will have a good marriage, you will have good leaders, you will have good mentors. Let's not forget the boys. Let's go back and get them from where they are.
And you know, lately people say that that Uganda has given more liberty to women. Women are picked out.
Women Association, Women Girls Day, Women Mothers Day. So actually,
so you want us to have also Boys Day?
I am a mother of a boy, and the way I raise a girl, I am too hard on a boy. I feel like my mother, when my mother was raising me and the boys, we were cooking, and it helps them even right now.
But I think it also goes back to culture. Like I've seen
nurturing the children.
In Uganda here, that was my, because I come from a family of, we are Nilo Hamites. Generally, our men don't cook. So when I came to Uganda and I saw men cooking, it looked weird. But now that we've grown up and I've seen that, when you compare the level of domestic violence in Buganda and any other part like East and North, East and Western, East and North and West Nile, there's a lot of domestic violence there other than here. Because I think here, men have been accustomed to, you know, you can also do what a woman can do.
Yes.
If the mother is washing clothes, a man can cook
My
food.
boy is 5 years. He washes the pants.
Yes.
And the socks, bathes himself at 5 years.
Yeah, so maybe what we need to do as a nation is let us look at the customs that build a nation and leave out those that really break down people. The way you've said, I've really liked that we are raising a very good girl, but we are leaving out the man who's going to be with a girl. But still, what we are saying is the girl child has more disadvantage. Because let me tell you, if you look at my age mates now, the guys are still looking young.
Yes.
But for us girls, we are flowers. We come up. If you go to school and you see, you go to senior two, because that's the age when girls sprout like wildfire. Like you find the boys are still, but the girls are,
Yes.
So that's why I think we should focus more on the girls, because girls mature very fast, and then because of so many things going through the body, they tend to not go to school, because also the way we talk to our children. I think that should change, and for the girls to stay in school, let us try to provide for these girls sanitary pads, these normal, small things.
Yes.
Because for you are lucky that when you had your friends who would do that, and then your mother supported you.
Yes.
Yeah. So anyway, for this, thank you very much. We shall come to Star.
Yes.
And then we raise money and let these girls go to school. But what is your message to whoever is watching right now?
My message to whoever is watching, let me send this message to the parents. One, you should avail more time for your children. Actually, you'll look for more money, but you remain alone when they have died of HIV. So make sure you talk to them, grow with them, be a friend, and you share so many things. That is when you're going to keep them in line. Number two is about us, the girls. If you're still young, utilize any opportunity and have the confidence in you that you're going to make it in all the aspects of life. I've been like, every year that goes by, I'm like, I cannot remain the same. That's why I like the new curriculum. The new curriculum empowers someone to do something. Do something, even if you're in a holiday, do something you can do this. Instead of using social media to abuse, use social media to earn a living, use the social media to do crochets, use social media to do something. Have very good friends that put you to another level. I've had friends that have been taking me to another level. Even when I joined the salvation journey, there have been friends pushing me to get back on track. And I feel like wherever I am going, I see light. So you make sure that you are different from any other person. Do something that is different. Apart from the qualifications and the beauty, that is something that you can lose. But a skill, the discipline. When a girl is disciplined, there is a way you have a composition of everything. Even at work, they will say, she's disciplined, she loves people, she is hardworking, she is exceptional. Be exceptional in whatever you do.
Wow. We have heard from Mercy. Mercy is Mirembe, which means peace. So she's Mercy with peace. Mm-hmm. And I think that's why she looks lovely and always speaking well. Me, I call her Honorable, because from the time she was our Uja VP, we voted for her. We're the ones who were campaigning. Yeah. So once a honorable, always remains a honorable. So to me, she's my senior in that field of politics. And I can't wait for her one time to become one of the biggest politicians. She already said that the president should make her an ambassador for UPE. We minimize UPE, but these are products of UPE. And that's when I tell people that when we're speaking about our country, let us look at the positives also. We have people here who have testified. Also, when we're speaking about our country, let us also look at empowering women. And what I like about this particular campaign that is ongoing, it has already put some money in girls. Senior Fund, Senior 6 girls have benefited this year. And when we collect more money, we are going to help these girls who are already in the most inspiring story. Please, I encourage you to go to africavote.com and get to read these girl stories. We're going to share the link there down. And then also, remember, the grand finale is on 14th of December, Amphitheater, Nakasero Primary School. Please make a date with us. Entrance, individual 20,000, a group of a table, a group with people who can go on the table, 500. And then for the VIPs, if you come as an organization of about 10 people, we will give you a table of 1 million, so that even schools come and support these girls. The schools that these girls have gone to, the parents, the aunties, the relatives have been advertising themselves before they went back to school. Of course, right now they're in school, but still we are running the campaign so that when they come back on 14th, before even 14th, we have a program for them. When they come back from school from 9th, we are going to empower them. And Fawe Africa, Plan International, they have already come on board. And UBC staff here that is empowered about women rights and women perspectives is going to be on ground to train these girls. Our person will be there. We're going to train these girls so that when they come to speak to you, you will see what they call a woman who is empowered. So these girls are going to go through a training. FAO is going to train them. And when you do courtesy and have a kind heart and contribute this money or more, these girls' futures will be catered for. So I encourage you to pull 20K. It's a 3-month campaign. Even if you just pull 10K today, next week you also do 10K, still you'll be doing something. And if you're very excited, you feel, yes, this is a good cause, you can pull as much as you want. It's not just 20K. You can get 100, 1 million, 5 million, whatever you feel like. Please support these girls. As you can see, when you look at our advert, these girls are here. They look lovely here, but when you hear their stories, my God, you'll get all the onions that you have, and then you'll see. So I encourage you to come there, but also I want to thank the team behind Super Soul Sisters. You guys are super. You only see my face, but trust me, the team that is behind me is full of Super Soul Sisters and our Super Soul brothers who have been with us all the way from the time we started this this production. And I want to give credit to Mercy. Mercy has been one of our biggest supporters. That's why we said we have to bring her on board to at least say something as we prepare for this finale. And trust me, she's going to be there on that day. She's going to be there. Our honorable is going to be there, the ambassador of UPE.
Yes, I'll be there, ambassador UPE.
So thank you very much. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Still Super Soul Sisters program, 9 p.m. Wednesday. Watch Super Soul Sisters. And if you miss on Friday, 11 a.m., you'll still catch us. And if you have anything that you feel you want to share with us, we have a YouTube channel. Comment. We will read and we'll get back to you. Thank you very much with all my team over here, Super Soul Sisters team, and me, Jamilo Luka, and UBC TV, Faraway Africa, Plan International, and you, our viewers. You have a lovely evening.